Good evening, guys. Welcome to tonight's video. So I want to talk tonight about two huge things that, as you can probably tell from the title, I think are extremely important, and that is consistency and persistency. So, in a nutshell, doing the right things the majority of the time for a long time. Okay? End of video. I could finish the video here. Okay? I'm not going to, I'm going to talk a little bit more, but I could finish there. Okay? These are huge. Okay? Because anybody that's followed me for any sort of short period of time will know that I love talking about the how. Obviously, the what is important, but I love talking about the how because I think it's what a lot of people struggle with the most. I think a lot of people aren't that far off with the what, okay? As we probably know, all sort of diets or lifestyle changes, they all work given time. The problem is they're not given enough time. They're not done long enough, consistently enough in order to see the results. People give up before they can see the results. And this is the how, this is how do you keep doing it consistently? How do you do it every day for years? How do you do that? And like I say, I love talking about it because I think it's such a huge thing. Now, I share tips on this all the time. Like I say, it's something I love talking about. I'm not going to go too in depth into it. I'm going to talk it as a general concept tonight. So, obviously, I love giving practical advice, but I also, like everybody, love a bit of inspiration, love a bit of motivation. That's what this is more going to be tonight, okay? Obviously, I have shared in the past practical steps, and I always will share practical steps in the future, but I'm going to give you a bit of sort of motivation, inspiration, because we all love that too. Okay, now, I'm not going to give you any weight loss as such stories, because you can see them everywhere. Whack it in Google, look on Instagram. Anybody that you know that's lost a significant amount of weight will tell you that it took a long time. Guaranteed. Okay, I'm going to give you something that maybe you've not heard of. So, everyone's heard the typical stories of people like Oprah, who was fired, told that, she'd never make it in TV, and look where she is now. The examples like Walt Disney, who was fired for not being creative enough. We know how that went and what that led to. But I want to give you a couple of stories that you may not have heard of. Now, like I said, I'm always going to try and relate everything to weight loss because obviously that's what I sort of specialise in. But, you can take this concept and you can put it into your relationships, into your jobs and your careers, or if you're trying to develop or build a new skill, this can relate to a lot of different areas of your life. I'm going to give you two stories that hopefully will give you a bit of motivation about persistency and consistency. Number one is Harland or Colonel Sanders. You will know him as the guy of KFC. What a lot of people don't know is that basically his story in a nutshell was he retired at 65, wasn't happy with his pension, etc., hadn't made enough money really to survive. So, and he was quite good at cooking. So basically he whacked up his chicken recipe and went basically door to door selling his recipe to restaurants, etc. And legend has it that he received 1,009 no's before somebody said yes. Now, that to me is ridiculous because I think that 80% of people would give up after 10 rejections. I think maybe 95% of people wouldn't make it past 50, let alone 1,000. So 1,000 times someone said no to him, but he kept going. And that is the reason KFC became what it is, really, let's be honest, because he kept going. He was consistent in his actions, and he did it for a hell of a long time. Okay? And I love that story. And another one that I love, which I don't think is as well known as well, is a guy called Alan Breed, who basically he invented airbag sensors as such. He did this in 1967, and basically he went around sort of pestering automakers, etc. But basically, at the time it wasn't a legal requirement, so I assume a lot of people probably, especially the automakers, probably saw it as unnecessary. And basically he spent 20 years pestering automakers and lobbying Congress. 20 years, and eventually obviously it became a law to have airbags and airbag sensors, but it was another 10 years after that until he finally got his first big sale. So 30 years in total, and basically in 1995 he made $120 million. Now, what I love about this story is the end sort of quote from where I saw it, which is, you can look at this, at the fact that Alan Breed made $120 million in 1995, or you can look at it at the fact that he made $4 million every single year, that he was willing to get told no and willing to fail for 30 years. He was willing to do that. Okay, so he made $4 million for every year that he was willing to face rejection and get knocked back. Okay, and I think that's a really cool way of looking at it. Now, put it back into context, I'm not saying that it's going to take you 30 years to lose weight and get to where you want to be. I'm not saying it's going to take you 30 years to get that promotion, to build that relationship, to learn that new skill, but it is going to take you longer than a week. It is going to take you longer than a month. And it's probably going to take you more than a few years. Okay, and that's what you need to get your head around. We're almost conditioned now, everything, it's at the touch of a button, click of a button, we get so many things. We expect everything so fast, but unfortunately it's not how things work. And the main concept I want you to take from this is that in every area of life, be that weight loss, whatever, persistency and consistency will get you there eventually. Okay, if you do the right things the majority of the time, notice I didn't say all of the time, the majority of the time, for a long enough amount of time, you will get there and you will achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And that's what it is at the end of the day, okay? So there's a quick one for tonight, guys. A little bit off topic compared to what I normally do, but I hope that you got some value from that. If you did, obviously feel free to like, comment and share. I always appreciate it. I do want to let you know that I do have a YouTube channel where I put all of these videos. So rather than you having to find them and scroll through timelines, etc., if you just type my name as it is on here, Nathan Bancroft, into YouTube, you will find my channel. So obviously that's convenient. And, like I say, if you want to see any of the videos, are all on there, and I always put them on there. So any subscriptions, likes, comments, whatever, I always appreciate that, and feel free to do so. Have a great evening, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.